And we back with another performance talk. Wolfpack Performance. We here with Yuri, my brother right here. He's gonna introduce himself, and we're gonna get into some real F1 shop like talk. What's up, Yuri? Introduce yourself.
What it do, yo? What it do? What it do? As I said, the name is Yuri. Been a motorsports fan for as long as I can remember. Probably about 6 years old, maybe younger than that. I know around like 2, 3 years old. My mom told me she got me a whole bunch of toys, such as Hot Wheels. She done stepped on those. I done got whoopings for them. But you know what? That love for motorsports stayed all the way to the age of 30 right now. Y'all ain't supposed to know that, but I'm 30. Anyways, I know I look beautiful. But huge fan of the McLaren Mercedes team. When I was a kid, back in like, what was it, 2000? I mean, 97 when Mercedes and McLaren joined together. They had that beautiful livery of the West McLaren logo. And ever since I've been keeping up with Formula One around the year 2001, watching it on TV, when they had it on like, the free channels like ABC and whatnot. But I've been following McLaren for the longest, man. And then, they brought in 2007 a black brother, Lewis Hamilton. Ever since then, I've been more and more impacted by Formula One because I said, yo, I'd never seen a brother in racing, right? I mean, we had a few, like for instance, we had maybe 3 or 4 I can count that went into NASCAR. I still can't recall.
Right.
I only can recall one brother who raced in IndyCar, and not many in sports cars. So to see that they got to the top of the totem pole in Formula One, and dude, 2007, he dominated, man. You got to remember now, Fernando Alonso, 2-time world champion, came into
Two-time world
McLaren.
champion.
Clearly was supposed to be the leader of the team. What he did? Almost fell off with
Mm-hmm.
Lewis, bruh. First year.
First
Crazy,
year.
man.
Second year, we already know what happened
Exactly.
there. Second year, it's a
Oh, man, it
dub.
was easy, bro.
Man, so let me, because you said something I want to kind of hit on that. Not the one part about your mom stepping on Hot Wheels, because when Hot Wheels was made, then that shit was like real metal. So yeah, she was
Right.
pissed. The other part is Lewis Hamilton as a black man coming into Formula One. How in a way did that impact you, just seeing him come into Formula One? Because I don't think a lot of people probably
Right.
get that when it comes to us. And I'm just keeping it real. It's nothing racial. This is just real
Yep.
talk. I don't think we could have told our kids it's possible for you to be president if we had not had a president that looked similar to
Sure.
us, or go into space if we had not had a female that looked similar to us. So how did it
Right.
impact you on a personal level?
One that impacted me on multiple ways, right? One, as I said, I'm a big McLaren fan, so to see, a new driver coming in, because mind you, when I was watching McLaren, they didn't really have any new drivers come in. It was more like stars who already had made a name in Formula One, and then Lewis just came out the blue. So I'm thinking, dude, if a dude who never raced in Formula One can go to the top team in Formula One fresh out the gate, freshman year, and he dominated, I said, dude, not only is the sky the limit, man, I'm talking, bro, the whole Andromeda is the limit. I mean, we can go way out past the galaxy at that point when Lewis made his debut in 2007. And then outside of that, just looking at the color aspect, for me, being a black kid, I know growing up, I was always like on the nerdy stuff. As you see, I got my Transformers here, got my Star Wars, some more Transformers. So, big onto technology stuff, right? I went to school for engineering, and dude, I've been in so many conference rooms, meetings with people who don't look like me, and always, oh well, let's just check his work, and it's like you ain't check his work, and his work was wrong. My work was right, you know. So it's like I
Right.
know what it's like to step into a room where you know you belong there, but all the audience they like, nah, he just DI, or oh, we just had to give him a
Right.
seat. Like, nah, bro, I earned this. You probably ain't earn it, but I earned it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
That's a
you got
fact.
that front. Then on top of it, I mean, Lewis, he came from a background that's not. He didn't come from a luscious background, right? He didn't come from a whole bunch of
There you
money.
go.
He had to earn everything, bro. Which means he's a hardworking individual, like most people who had
Right.
to earn it. So I can relate to that. I'm like, hey man, he probably was really in them books. He probably was really studying them racing lines. He probably was talking to drivers, talking to the
Facts.
crew, trying to figure out how his engine worked. He probably was really in the shop, you know? Whereas other
Right.
kids, man, they come there, set some laps, and go home, and I don't know, do some
Yep.
rich people stuff.
Right, and they got people taking care of a lot
Yeah,
of things for him. Whereas Lewis and his dad had to be heavily involved. They didn't have the money for teams. They not pulling up with
right,
big motorhomes and a whole pit
right,
crew and all of that. They pulling up, getting their shit out of a shed to throw in the back of a truck or a van to show up to the track. And then I think a lot of people, I always say this: you can't show me one Formula One driver in all of history that has gone through the scrutiny, the criticism, the disrespect, the degradation, the the racial impact that Lewis Hamilton has, period. Nobody on the grid, ever. I don't think anybody can say I showed up to a race and a group of fans showed up in blackface to disrespect my family. It's just those type of things that take place where they really were trying your best to get you out of here. And then you turned out to be the best that was ever here. And so now they're mad trying to do whatever they can do to change the face of Formula One into something that looks more comfortable for them. But I think I appreciate and thank a lot of fans of different colors, backgrounds, that they're not going for the shenanigans and the foolery, because I always say it's a lot of people out here that go character over color and people over politics. Sure. And if we didn't have those type of relationships and maybe those type of people that understood, like, I understand you black, I understand you white, but are you an asshole? If you're not an asshole, then we can get down. We cool, you know. So I do appreciate that. But talking about McLaren, man, let's just get into it, man. McLaren right now is not the same. Things have kind of changed, dog. They talking about, you know, Zach Brown was telling Oscar this the Lando Norris era, but right now that's not looking like that. So how are you feeling about Lando, Oscar, but more so, I don't believe Lando got that dog.
Oh, I agree with you.
So I don't know how. Okay.
Look,
so give your perspective on it.
Matter of fact, man, it kind of comes off the conversation we just had, bro. Lando came from a background of, I just got everything handed to me. His parents was well off, bro. And I kind of watched him a little bit when he was in Formula 2, some of the lower leagues, and he had this, I don't know, kind of like bratty mindset. He had to have his way. He throw a tantrum. I mean, he's kind of doing it now, right? Even last year, he was throwing a little tantrum. I'm like, bro, who you whining to, man? Get your head in the game and just drive, bro. Like, you know, so, I mean, seeing mindsets like that, I'm like, yeah, he definitely ain't got the dog in him, bro. Or at least if you gonna be, you know, complaining and whatnot, like Max Verstappen does. Max Verstappen actually backs it up, right? So I got to give him to him that he might be, might be an a-hole, but he back it up. Lando, he ain't got it, bro. Looking at Oscar, man, him coming up through the ranks. I did watch him in Formula 3 and Formula 2. This guy, the scariest thing about him is he's calm, bro. We've never seen him like show that he's worried, scared.
Bro, I call him the Iceman.
Right, bro. He just be chilling. And even when it looks like it's a tough situation where you're like, oh man, how you gonna get out of this? Well, he fights with Max. We saw what he did in Miami. He used his own moves on him, bro. And what Max did,
balled him,
outbroke himself, went all into off the track and everything.
Yep.
See, Lando, he don't have that quite actually.
He don't have that.
You gotta have a
you gotta stay off. Lando gotta stop flying private with Max and get rid of that necklace, that best friend necklace, man. Lando,
talk about that,
bro. Come on, man. You can't be flying private, have best friend necklaces, and bro. Let me tell you, for a moment, I had some hope for Lando. For a moment, because I always gonna try to give somebody room where you can change and you can progress, right? They say it's often you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but it's often a time where it can happen. Lando, when that situation occurred between Max and Lando, and they had that collision, and Lando said, I don't owe him an apology until he come to me and talk to me. We don't have nothing to say. I said, okay, now he might be starting to turn the corner, like, yo, this friendship shit and the way you doing on track is not gonna work for me, bro. Bro, the next race he gonna come out talking about, yeah, Max ain't gotta apologize. We talked. I was like, bro, what the hell happened? I was like, it's gone. I'm off of it, man. You can't win like that. You can't win against Max like that,
I'll be honest with you, bro. Not only can you not win, you just showed every driver in the racing world, every athlete, that, bro, not only do you not have the grit, you a pushover, man. You gonna let people walk over you. So now, guess what? Everybody gonna race you and push you up on the wall because they know you gonna complain. You know you gonna whine. Once you whine and complain, what you gonna do? You gonna crash. And what has he done? And qualifying at Saudi Arabia, he could have got pole. He crashed, bro. Lost it easily.
True.
He clearly had the fastest car. But in his head, bro.
I don't think he. I think he cracked under pressure, man. I think it's real. And I always tell people this: I'm not criticizing the whole support. I don't even want to call it a movement. The support of mental health. That's not what this is. This is just a gauging of somebody's mental fortitude in the sport that they exist as a competitor. And Lando has showed us time and time again that either he's indecisive, He wants to take control, then he backs out of taking control. He told his team, no, I got this, I'm calling the shot. Then we literally heard this man on the radio say, well, never mind, y'all need to let me know what to do. He's not that person. He can't take the reins, deal with the problems, deal with, if I make a wrong decision, I'm just going to push forward. Oscar, bro, you got 5 races in your entire career, Lando. This man is already a race up on you, and he's leading the Drivers' Championship. And we know for a fact nobody's tampering with your car. We got no conspiracy theories like we had with Sergio Perez and Max. So you have no excuses whatsoever, man. So this is the question that I have for McLaren, and you let me know what you think about it. I just need to know, because McLaren's on this, we got 2-1 thing. I don't agree with you saying you got 2-1 thing, but then you're going to tell Oscar it's the Lando error. That tells me that technically you saying we got 2-1s, but you're showing favoritism toward one driver. What do you do now when the other driver that is not his error is showing that I'm taking my error? Or do you think McLaren are going to finally come to a decision, if it arises, that we're going to throw everything behind Oscar for this Drivers' Championship?
So we kind of got a preface to that last season. Now, last season, Lando, he was definitely more in his bag, and Oscar, he wasn't quite as sharp, right? But we saw a few times where Oscar was clearly faster, and they was like, yo, swap the cars, etc., right? And you got to remember who mentors Piastri, Mark Webber. Mark Webber has been through this, man. When he was racing with Sebastian Vettel,
That's
a decade ago, right? So I'm like, dude, he probably talking to McLaren like, hey, man, what happened to me a decade ago, you better not let it happen to him, or it's gonna be a problem. Like,
facts.
So I think for that, man, McLaren, even though they don't say this the Lando era, dude, we have not heard McLaren backing up Lando like we usually do. Because look at it like this. I think one of the biggest things that kind of changed it was clearly McLaren had an advantage. And what did Lando say? The car isn't really that fast, or, it's not really that easy to drive, right? It's, because he was getting the wins and getting all these leads and stuff. And what did Oscar do? He said, no, it's actually, it's not that challenging.
Right. It's not that challenging.
So I'm like, bro, this right here just showed that, two things. Lando, either you bullshit and you sandbag,
boom,
or two, you really can't handle this pressure, dog. Now that you got the lead, you trying to find every excuse possible to be like, I mean, if I won a championship, I worked hard, it wasn't easy. Like, bro.
Right.
But just 2-3 years ago, you was talking all this cash money shit about Lewis having the best car.
The fastest car. Right. Where you at, bro?
I was waiting on them wins to just rack up, but nope.
It didn't happen. And then that goes to show, because there was a lot of times, it was a couple times, as a matter of fact, I did a video on it when they went to cool down room, Lando and Max, Max moving his chair as if he can't sit next to Lewis Hamilton, Lando putting trash on Lewis Hamilton's chair. It just showed his mentality and his mindset, like you said, of a spoiled brat. And then the time he came into the cool down room, because there was a couple of instances that last season where Lando really kind of showed his personality was a brat type. And Lewis was just really trying to give you a little bit of support, like, hey, bro, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. The first thing Lando talking about, it was easy for you. You had the fastest car. You had the fastest car then. But, bro, you got the fastest car and you ain't doing shit. Yeah. You slacking. So, evidently, just having the fastest car is not good enough. And that's where I kind of segue into Max Verstappen. True, he had the fastest car. He did what he should have did. But, and this is where I hold a lot of his Max Verstappen stand fans accountable. And Helmut Marko. Max supposed to be able to take a Haas or an AlphaTauri to pole. Max is supposed to be able to do everything Lewis Hamilton can do plus some. So that means Max can take a lesser performing car, because I get tired of this whole bullshit narrative of he in the slowest car out there and doing. He's not in the slowest car. The Red Bull is not the slowest car. It's still one of the top performing cars, else he could never challenge for pole position. So that's kind of crazy. But Max is not doing all these superhero-like things that people claimed he could do. He's still in one of the top cars, bro, and he's yet to convert pole position 2 times back-to-back into a win, and damn near not even on podium. So where are you on the Max Verstappen situation with his 4 championships and this season?
The way I see it, man, is in the end of the day, Max has gotten the most support any driver has ever gotten. I have never seen a team well, one car is, bro, it's to the point where I'm like, dude, all the engineers, all the technicians must go to one car. Because that second car, bro, it ain't cursed, dog. It just has no support. we've had what 7, 8 drivers.
Good point.
Currently, Yuki's going through it, and I mean Yuki's performances ain't looking that good. Like they're not bad, but they
Right.
ain't
They ain't Lim
right.
Lawson,
So
but still,
yeah,
it's kind of funny
yeah.
though.
So I'm like, bro, it's clear that y'all have put every resource possible to one, please Max, because who's Max's father? Jos Verstappen. And what is Jos Verstappen gonna do? He gonna go in every meeting, every debrief. Well, what about my son? Man, forget your son,
Right.
bro. What about the team?
Right.
But you know,
Right.
they ain't got the
Right.
balls to say that. That's why Yas
No.
and Max get what they want every time. I mean, look at how Max talks to the
Right.
team when things don't go his way. He clearly ain't no
Right,
team
bro.
player, bro.
Facts.
So
Facts.
yeah,
And that's, you make a good point, because that's one thing I also point out. I've never heard Max say, I got to do better.
right,
It's something that I have to do without even trying to implicate the team. It's something that I got to do. The team's done everything they've done. I have to go out and perform. It's always time we are the car wasn't set up,
right,
or they didn't do this right, or we on the radio cussing them out, talking about what the hell you doing, guys. Matt, and that's what I say, man. Trying to crown Max as the GOAT situation is so, it's so damn, man. It's so premature. It ain't even
yeah,
funny. It's premature. I don't even understand how you want to call him the GOAT. He just equaled what had already took place in his own team with Sebastian
right,
Vettel. 4 championships, which are all debatable on top of that. But you can't be the GOAT when you not even the best in your own team within their lineage. So when it comes to trying to crown Max Verstappen as the GOAT, I'm telling people, pump your brakes. I'm not saying he's not a good driver. I'm not saying Max doesn't have race craft. I am saying Max wheel-to-wheel driving and shit, because that's proven. But Max's defense is
yeah,
up, but he also puts you in compromising situations because he doesn't have that. So he's gonna put you in a position where either you're gonna wreck your car or you're gonna let me through here. And Oscar Piastri is not having it,
he
bro.
ain't, bro.
He's not
He
having it.
ain't. I love it, dog. I love what Oscar's bringing, man. I'm cheering him on, bro. I mean, obviously because I'm a McLaren fan, but like I said, I
Right,
watched
right, right.
Piastri when he was in F2 and F3, so I already knew he was a serious case. The thing was, I was like, all right, once he gets to McLaren, like what's next? Because you know, after Alpine flopped and fumbled that boy, I said, bro. I mean, look, man, not to change the
Man.
conversation, but dude, Alpine, dog. Do you know what they got to be going through right now? Like, bro.
Yeah, bro, in that office, somebody got to be going. We just don't know about
Bro,
it.
that's the thing. They don't fire so many people. People done
Fire
left.
Otmar, Rossi,
Yeah,
everybody, man. They dropped the bag, bro. How you let this dude get out the door? They didn't handle their business. But one thing, that's why I say, you knew in F3 and F2, but I knew when Oscar put that social
oh
media
yeah,
post out, said, "Oh hell no, no, I do not drive for y'all next year." I said that dude right there is not playing no games. Either you straight up and down with
yeah,
him, or you off his case, bro. And he was like, "I ain't nobody's second prom date," and I knew then, yo, that dude gonna be something like to
right.
deal with. Man, bro, Oscar he been that since then, bro. I keep trying to tell McLaren, you gonna mess around and fuck around and find out if you don't handle this situation correctly. And I told people when Oscar won that race, I said, okay, this is what's gonna happen. Oscar is at the point where I'm gonna show you that I think I'm the best, and I'm gonna prove it on track, and then I'm gonna let you show me who you really are if I'm doing all this and see what you do next. And I said, if McLaren make the wrong decision, they messing with the wrong dude,
Hey
bro.
man, all I'm gonna say is, dog, they better chill out with that, cause hey man, Matt, I mean not Max, Piastri, he could hold that girl to say, all right, cool, I see how y'all play. I'm gonna get my
Yeah,
championships. I'm gonna walk Orlando, and then once my contract's up, I'm out. I don't
I'm
even
out.
want to do no renewal, no talks. I already got a new team I'm signing to, man. Matter of fact, we just found out today. Goodbye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right. And I think all that kind of started with Oscar when Lando didn't want to pay the respect. When it took them several laps and several
Yeah,
radio messages and coaxing and pampering Lando to understand, for your race engineer to be on worldwide television and have to
pleading.
tell you that eventually you are going to need him and you are going to need us. Bro, I think
Yeah,
that right there was the moment Oscar realized, like, all right, I see where you at.
right.
I see who you really are. I got you. I think that was the defining point for Oscar Piastri going forward,
For
bro.
sure. Yeah, because that all happened last season, bro. So I felt like we came into this
Facts.
season like, bet I know what it is. I done been at a McLaren for
Mm-hmm.
about, what, 2 years at the point? So he came in that
Yep.
third year. He said, all right, now I'm about to take this thing over, bro. I ain't no more
Yeah.
remorse, all that nice guy stuff. Because honestly, man, I mean, if you
Yeah.
look
He a
at
solid killer.
Piastri, like when he talks to the media, bro, he's very like nonchalant, just he ain't for the
Yep.
games, bro. And he'll call it how it is. He
Mm-mm.
just lay it out.
That's true.
And I like that,
That's
man,
true.
because I'm like, bro, I'm tired of the drivers who got to do all the PR. Like, hey, man, I got to talk bad about George Russell, but boy, that man is a PR king, bro. He know how to
Yo,
sell
that
it.
is true, bro. He know how to set.
Bro,
That's true, bro. So where you bringing George Russell up? Where you at on Mercedes right
so
now, bro?
Mercedes, man, they clearly have a good car and they got some great drivers.
Hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
this is an interesting situation we in because we all knew Kimmy was going to be great, but we didn't know if he was going to be great his very first year. We didn't know if he was going to crack under pressure. We just knew he was going. He clearly had the talent.
Good
Right.
prospect. Right, right. He's good, great potential.
Now, once he got in the team, hey, bro, he might not have a win yet, but I'm telling you, dog, George Russell is not safe.
He's not
And George
comfortable.
Russell
He
has been
shouldn't be
fighting to
comfortable,
get that number one seat at Mercedes since, back when Bottas was there.
bro.
He wanted to get there.
Right. That's why I was
Yeah,
right back when he smacked Botus when he was a
yeah, bro, the
Williams.
disrespect, man. What? But anyway, he got to McLaren. I mean, he got to Mercedes finally, and then he, all right,
Hmm.
he got more points than Lewis. But when you look at what happened in the 2022 season, it's like, George, don't calm down, bro. You didn't really beat Lewis. You got to remember, Lewis did
Right.
all the testing for every component in 2022. He was like, you know what?
Right.
Put this part on the car, put that car on the car, on the car. I don't care if this part don't work. If this is wobbly, let's just test it. I'll be the dummy. Because
Right.
he like, look, bro, I already done earned my
Right.
respect. I got all my stuff. I'll take that
Bro,
from him.
he even took the number two color cam
Yeah,
T cam color.
right. He ain't
Right.
tripping. So when George Russell got that his first season at Mercedes when he got them points and he outscored Lewis, he probably came in like, see, I knew I could beat him. Second year, what happened? Lost out. And then third year, I
Lost out.
mean, yeah, you could say he beat him, but it's like, bro, Lewis was already out the door. The Ferrari contract was
True.
announced before the season started. Do you really think Mercedes was
Right.
helping Lewis? No.
Right. We all know that wasn't the
Yeah,
case.
so I'm
No,
like,
they gonna go ahead and put their eggs in George Russell basket. This is who we got going
exactly,
forward.
bro. I mean, you could even see with the PR, like Mercedes' social media team last year was really trying to push George Russell, trying to sell him. I'm like, I'm sorry, bro.
Definitely.
Lewis is the guy who gonna sell and get you these sponsors, not George. Like he ain't a terrible person.
No.
He can get you a little something,
No, 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 no.
but he ain't.
But
He
he ain't
ain't
Lewis.
Lewis,
Nobody is.
right?
No. He not
Yeah,
Lewis. And he damn near, and it's a funny situation for Russell because it's one of those situations where you work so hard to diminish the guy that you should be learning from that when he gets ready to leave, I got this position, and now all of a sudden you got a young, and I do mean young, new
oh,
star
he like
rookie
18,
who is starting to,
19.
bro. He just turned
Yeah,
18. He just turned 18. He was 17 when he got the
that's
contract.
right.
He did, and after that, he ended up getting his driver's license. So it's like
Right.
literally, bro,
I
he
forgot
ended
about
up getting
that.
his driver's license, bro. So like now, George Russell is looking like shit. Like I'm about to get outperformed by this rookie coming in, man. It's one of those situations where it's better to be patient and humble than what Russell was doing. I think Russell had some snakish like
For sure.
mentality when it came with Lewis Hamilton, man, because he wanted to be that guy so
Right.
bad that he just couldn't bide his time and just really take the time to learn, bro. And I think we're starting to show. I'm not saying Russell's not a good driver. I'm not saying he's not quick, but I am saying that a lot of times the energy you put out comes back faster than you think. And Kimi Antonelli is going to put you in, could put you in a situation where Mercedes start looking and say, you know what, your seat ain't safe,
For real.
your contract's not
Yeah.
safe, because if Kimi can do this, now we got to wonder now to see who can do better than you to pair with
Right.
Kimi.
Exactly. And I tell you what, man, the
And
funny thing is, Kimmy is the exact opposite. Kimmy was like, when he saw Lewis in the
yes,
garage, he said, wait, I gotta drive your car? I can't drive the GOAT's car. Like, nah, man, this disrespect. That's how
respect,
Kimmy was
right,
acting. So I'm like, bro, Kimmy was praising this dude before he even got into Formula One. When it got to
facts,
Formula One, he still was praising Lewis, bro. He driving for
true,
Mercedes, right? Still talking about,
true.
nah, man, it's Lewis, man. Like,
Looks to go right. It's
yeah.
him. Matter of fact, did you see Drive to
Nah,
Survive?
well, I did, but like I ain't finished it, bro.
Bro, there's a moment in there. It's a real kind of uncomfortable moment in there when they're announcing Kimmy and they do a photo op. So it's Kimmy, Toto, and Russell. And so the photographer is like, well, is Lewis going to be here? And then Russell and Toto's like, who type situation. And Kimmy's looking like, I mean, what's the joke? Like, what's going on? What's the joke? He's like, oh, well, you'll get it. You'll get it. Kimmy's like, what the hell y'all really doing right here, man? Like, what? It was real kind of uncomfortable. Kimmy really was like, I ain't on that type of time. Or I don't get what y'all trying to say right here, bro. It was really kind of disrespectful from Toto and Russell. And what was even more funny is the conversation that Toto and his wife had, Susie. Toto was trying to play the whole why would he do this type situation with, and Susie's like, what do you mean?
That's crazy.
It's the opportunity, the situation is what it is. I mean, Susie's looking at Toto like, what the hell are you talking about right now?
Hey, but you know what? If we talk, going back to what we said, how people just, they didn't earn things, they kind of just picked it up. Toto,
Yeah.
bro, when he came into
Damn,
Mercedes,
that's true.
did he really like help build the team to what it
That's
was, or
true.
he just?
That's
I
true.
felt like he just picked up the gold.
He just picked up the.
It was already there.
That's
He
true,
just
brother.
took it, and he ran with it. Obviously, the team. I don't really think it was Toto who. I'll say this: Toto probably kept the train already running, but the train was already in
Right.
impeccable condition. So it's like all you had
Facts.
to do was just make sure the gauge is looking good. All right, yeah, that's good.
That good
You know what I'm
metaphor.
saying?
True. It would already had a head of
Right.
steam. You just had to make sure not to screw it up.
Whereas
Yeah, just don't screw it up.
whereas you look at all the other engineers and people who probably built up Mercedes beforehand, they had to probably build that train from the ground up, figure out what type of rail to use, figure out what engine we going, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. So he came in kind of when the train was it was already in pristine condition, bro. All you had to do was just make sure it's still running. That's it.
True. Be the
Yep.
money man. All right, man. So, where are you? Let's talk about Lewis and Ferrari. What are you feeling on that? Just like your personal perspective. Just where are you at on Ferrari?
Definitely not the start that we wanted, but man, I know I've seen a lot of people say, well, is Lewis ready for Ferrari? And I'm like, man, what? I'm like, look, bro. If you want to say Lewis, is he ready for Ferrari as in the driving style? Because for some reason the Ferrari is
Okay.
so different. We've already seen multiple drivers who they could not say the car was a bad car, right? Like for instance, Charles Leclerc,
Mhm.
he'll never say the car bad when you see the stress every day that man goes through the race.
Yeah, he won't do the Nicky Lauda situation.
Right. He don't want to say nothing bad
Yeah.
about the car because he a loyal Ferrari man. He been with Ferrari since he was like
That's
14 or something like that.
Bro, yeah, like 14,
Yeah.
15 or something. Like he been a long time
But
with him.
Lewis coming in, he like, look, I respect y'all because of your heritage, your legacy, all that. So I want to be a a
Right.
Ferrari driver. But hey, bro, you still get criticism. This is a bad car. And then now on top of that, yo, who the hell are these strategists and engineers, dog? You heard that man Lewis said, take a tea break while you at it. I'm like, yes,
Right, yeah.
please take 2 tea breaks. I'm like, dog, what are y'all doing? Like,
True.
bro.
True.
I mean, this how I
True.
see it, man. I remember when Charles Leclerc, this was last season, and he was asking his engineers some questions. Like, we asked him one question, and obviously, you need to come up with these answers quick. These cars going hella fast. The guy says
Right.
every time Charles asks a question, checking. You should already know this, man. It should take you like maybe
Right.
3 seconds, and you need to have me an answer ready, bro. Because look, the question I just asked you 5 seconds
Right.
ago might not be valid right now. So I'm like,
That's a good point, bro.
you know what I'm saying? And
Good
bro,
point.
they keep talking
Good
about
point.
checking. They might not give you an answer to,
It'd be quiet for a
Yeah.
moment, bro.
2 laps done gone
Be
by. Bro,
quiet
my
for-
tire's already dead, but we throw that strategy away.
True.
Bro. It's too late, bro.
True.
So Ferrari, man,
Man.
we already know Ferrari strategies have kind of been a joke for the past like
Yeah.
decade, but bro,
Yeah, I was about to say it's been a minute, bro. Because we talking about plans A, double D,
Right.
double Z. Where the hell these alphabets come from in the plan strategy, bro?
that's why I'm like, man, forget all that. Is Ferrari? Is he ready for Ferrari? No, Ferrari clearly ain't ready for him. How you gonna bring in a man of this much caliber and you still got strategists out here who can't even formulate an answer for
Damn.
Sir Lewis Hamilton, bro? Put some respect on this man,
That's
dog.
a fact, bro.
I bet if it was Michael
a
Schumacher in that
fact.
car, they would have gave him a strategy ASAP.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah, definitely,
Boy.
man. I feel like Ferrari dropped the ball in a couple of places on receiving Lewis Hamilton. Well, actually a few. I feel I already didn't have much faith in Ferrari coming in here because I just look at what you've been doing, And I just don't see Lewis coming in and changing that right away. Yeah, he might change the culture, might change your appearance, the way people perceive you as Ferrari, not being outside of your norm. But as far as the strategy and the things that you all do on track, I just don't see that happen unless it's a total rebuild and we just gonna get everybody out of here. So I was already uncomfortable about that. The next thing when it popped that the car was gonna change, 90% of the car was gonna change in a season before another major regulation change. I was like, that is not the move to do. That was stupid,
It was
bro.
crazy. They had a very competitive car last year. I'm like, dog.
Yeah, bro. They was fighting for the constructor championship.
I'm like, bro, you do realize this is a reason why Lewis felt good about y'all. And y'all just come on, man.
Scrapped it. Scrapped it. So I just Ferrari, man, they just they remind me right now of Dallas Cowboys, man. They were great. It was great, man, but they just living off the greatness they had, and they haven't updated their resume lately, bro.
Ego.
They just haven't updated their resume.
The ego is killing them, boy.
That is true. That's true. And we're about to see this weekend, man, because I'm going to tell you, I think a lot of Ferrari fans are going to start having some pressure. They show up to the Temple of Speed and Enzo's house and these circuits, bro, that are definitely just straight traditional Italian circuits, and they start laying eggs, it's gonna be hell to pay in this public eye, man. And that's a lot of pressure. And then a lot of things I tell people is always, you were saying, actually you said something to it earlier about when you walk into the room, they want to check your work, but they don't want to check his work, and his work probably wrong. I don't understand. I do understand. I just don't agree with people how Lewis Hamilton's going into a totally new team, totally new car, totally new engineer, totally new team principal, totally new boss, totally new everything, but he's supposed to be able to go in here right away, make everything work when you got a guy who you said supposed to be the GOAT the following season in the same team with a car that people just strictly develop for him. They don't want to put a second driver next to him to compete with him. He's never driven next to a world champion. He's never had a teammate better than Valtteri Bottas, but it's okay for the things he's doing. But Lewis Hamilton supposed to be watched while we got Alonso sitting over here with no damn points at Aston Martin. The double standard crazy, bro. The double standard is crazy out here,
man. You
man.
saw my eyes just opened up, man. When you said Fernando, boy,
Fernando, bro. Ain't nobody campaigning for this man to retire, but he can go out here and this man spun a car out and nobody touched him.
All I'm gonna say is this is one thing to not get points, but for Stroll, bro, to have 10 points, I think
10 points, bro, and you got none. Yeah, that ain't good. That's not good.
You might need to hang up that overall bit, dog. Like.
You might need to, but nobody campaigning for that. But Lewis got to retire. So, well, I tell you what, man. Before we wrap up, tell me where you are on Aston Martin, because that's another big focus and topic going into even 2026. Where are you on Aston? I mean, drivers, development, and owner, because I got a big problem with the owner.
Yeah, dude. So it's a lot to kind of talk about, man. I mean, one is it's Aston Martin. They're leaving from the Mercedes powertrain to Honda next year. Then on top of that, Fernando, he has a contract to where he can drive next season, but it was more like an option. So really, they could kind of drop him, honestly, looking at how he's driving right now. But who would you replace him with, right? Stroll, that man ain't going nowhere, bro. The only thing that can challenge Stroll is this, right? Lawrence Stroll, his father, who owns the team. If Honda really like, hey, yo, we got this beautiful powertrain. We know a driver or a few drivers we can scout for who clearly better than your son, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? We got a nice hypercar program in WEC that your son could be the star driver for. We got GT racing, you know what I'm saying? Aston Martin has other cars that you can drive.
Right.
So I can see Honda coming in and saying, hey, man, look, we signed up for greatness, and your son, he mediocre, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? It's
right.
So it's a lot, dog. The way I see it, man, next season, honestly, we really don't know, because this season here is going so crazy right now. I mean, Fernando has no points. It is, man. Stroll got 10 points. No. And next season, I think Stroll's still gonna be there. I think Fernando gonna be there, but maybe after for instance, if they come out with a real good powertrain and let's say a decent chassis, like they really fighting for points every race, it's gonna be some talks about contracts, man. If it ain't Fernando already out the door, then it's like, hey, we're gonna look at Stroll too. We might replace both drivers. Because
both
I don't know
drivers.
what
I
Honda
agree,
might be
bro.
bringing to the table. We know Honda can make some good engines, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and they got Felipe Drugovich just sitting there wasting his career away,
True,
bro.
true. Well,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
so Drugovich, right? The weird thing about him is he's done a lot of like off. How can I say? He's done a lot
He
of wet
has.
driving, right?
He does some work with Cadillac
Yeah.
too.
So I mean, I could see him leaving Aston Martin. He's been there as a support driver for 2, 3 years.
Bro, it's about to be 3 or 4
Yeah.
seasons, bro. 3 seasons, I think. Yeah, that's a
So
long time to not be in Formula One while you was the F2 champion.
right. So I mean, unless Aston give him the call, dude might just say, "Man, I'm out, bro." Like, if y'all ain't gonna give
Yeah.
me a ride, y'all ain't gonna never give me a ride. Cause this dude, I'm
Yeah, you got one seat filled with nepotism. You got another seat filled by somebody who, I mean, technically, I mean, I understand he's a two-time world champion, one of them debatable because it's Crash Gate, but this is the same guy that, I mean, I give Alonso credit when the car was good. He at least showed Aston Martin your car was capable of podiums, because that's another bag to hand over Stroll. While Alonso collected 8 podiums, you didn't collect not one. And we know that Lawrence is not having anybody favor anybody over
right.
you. So that was just an indictment on Stroll, man. It just continues to be an indictment on him. And that's why I say I got a big problem with the owner, because he reminds me of Jerry Jones. You want to talk about winning championships, but you don't want to make the moves that require you to make championships. You had Derrick Henry in your backyard. You had Aaron Jones up for contract. You had Saquon Barkley out there in the running back market. You had 3 top running backs that you could have signed, and you never brought them in. You never brought him in. You brought in Rick Dowell, and now you got Javonte Williams, which is on his way out. But you steady saying that I'll write any check I can write to win a championship. Well, Lawrence Stroll, you collecting Honda as a power unit. You got Adrian Newey now, a legend engineer. You got these high-tech facilities. Why would you hamstrung your program with your son, who clearly can't do what we need to be done? So we're going to do all this, and the bottleneck is going to be because Red Bull already proved us. One driver can't win Constructors' Championship. So basically, you telling the whole team y'all gonna do all this, and you know what? It might be for nothing. That's why I got a problem with Lawrence Stroll.
Feel it, bro. I'm on the same thing, dog. It's because I forgot about that part that Adrian Newey, man. Once he comes in, bro, they gonna have the aerodynamics, a good powertrain.
Right.
If they can get them just a decent chassis, oh, bro, they gonna be up there. And
I'm telling you,
I don't trust Stroll to do anything with it. Fernando, I think he already washed. He done, bro. Like I said, he got the option for next season, but bro, looking at how this season going, he might get dropped.
He might get dropped. I agree. Okay, so man, let's tell you what, we're wrapping up. Let's do this, man. Next year, Cadillac is supposed to be here. They got all the walk-up. Audi is supposed to be here. Which one of them 2 teams is at least better than the other? Because I ain't even talking about top. Which one of these 2 teams, Cadillac or Audi, do you think will perform better in the 2026 season?
For 2026, I'm going to say Cadillac only because Audi is bringing a powertrain and their own chassis. Whereas Cadillac, they're bringing that Ferrari power plant, I think, for what?
Right, they're going to bring a Ferrari power unit.
3 years, something like that.
I think it's supposed to be 2 or 3 seasons, right, correct. Because they got their own program they got to prove. They're going to work on that, but they're going to take on the Ferrari power unit.
So they already going to have a proven powertrain. And then Audi, I mean, now, you know what? I kind of got to be careful when I say this too, because remember, it's still Audi. This is still a German manufacturer.
And they a full works team. They a full works team.
And the thing is, so far, the regulations haven't really changed. I know there's been a lot of talk, controversy about changing stuff and being, what you call them? Being, what? Being slime.
Ben Salim. Yeah, Ben Slime. I called him Ben Slime.
Ben Slime, man, talking about some V10s and stuff. I'm like, man, you just want a re-election, bro. Get on up out of here, dog.
Yeah, like I'm gonna slash the cursing fine. I'm gonna bring back V10s. Like he doing a lot of capping, bro.
I'm like, dude,
capping, bro.
You gotta relax. This is why people ain't gonna.
You out of here. You out of here. I will say this. It's always funny to hear Red Bull start complaining about regs, and then all of a sudden he start talking about we trying to change things, bro. You can't walk that back. These teams have already scrapped
talking threefold
like you equipment and yeah, bro. You can't all of a sudden tell us coming up the next season you about to change it, and now we got a bunch of shit we can't use. Like that's not gonna work. That will definitely, like you said, it won't get you reelected. So who you going with, Cadillac or Audi?
I'm gonna have to go with Cadillac, though, only because I feel like Cadillac has less to risk. They just gotta have a good chassis. That's it. Because the power plant gonna do the rest.
Okay. Because the power unit already there. It's proved.
Right. Because this new regulation that we're coming into, The rumors so far is what Mercedes said, what Red Bull been saying. Because
Mm-hmm.
Red Bull supposed to be coming out with their own powertrain. It's really just a Honda engine, y'all.
And it ain't nothing but a Honda
Right.
IP
You know
engine.
what I'm
It's a copy. It's a
saying? Right.
clone.
So they coming in with their stuff, and both of those teams are saying, look, these powertrains, the battery only gonna last so long. So on the long straights, it's probably gonna be a
Right.
slow car. They're saying it's a chance it can be slower than F2. The reason why I
That's
say
wild.
it kind of switches to where I kind of look at Audi is because see, Audi is looking at this project from the ground up. They don't have any prior engine to try
That's
to
a good
take
point.
research from. Whereas all the other brands they doing that. With Audi starting with a clean slate,
Okay.
they might have found a cheat code. So
Damn, that's a good point.
that's why I'm
That's a good
like,
point.
it's gonna be a power plant,
That's a
it's
good
gonna be a
point.
powertrain race next season. But if Audi cracked the code better than everybody else, it might be Audi, bro. But safe wise, I would
That'll
go
be
with
wild,
Cadillac.
man. I'm going Cadillac just because I'm American, man. And Cadillac, I believe in some GM products, man. I got one out there in the driveway now. Hey, that thing got it's 15,000 miles from 400,000. It still got the original engine in it and the alternator. So I know this is not an enduro
Yeah.
race. This is about being fast through all
Yeah.
sectors. But Cadillac, man, and GM, I think a lot of people sleep on it. I've always told people, anytime I'm at the racetrack, bro, and there's a fast Mustang that's consistent, is not breaking down. When I go into the pits, you know what they got in that engine bay,
But
bro? A Chevy motor.
now that
Every
nah, you
time,
can't do that, bro.
bro.
Hold on. This
Listen,
this
every
boys out
time,
here with a Mustang who got a LS swap, not a Coyote.
bro. I'm telling you,
Oh,
every time I'm
that's
at a track
disrespect.
and I've seen Mustangs make several fast passes and not break down, and I go into the pits, there's a Chevy motor in that engine. There's a Chevy motor in
That
that car.
sounds like
I
betrayal, bro.
promise
You
you.
can't even call yourself a
It.
Mustang dude at that point. That
Hey man, they say we're trying to win, man, and them Ford motors don't hold that pressure like this Chevy do. I'm just telling you the truth,
I'm
bro.
still stuck
It's
on a
crazy.
Mustang having an LS, bro. That's crazy.
Every time, brother. I promise you, man. I'm gonna see you every time. LS swaps in them, man. Every
Damn,
time.
bro.
Every time. Now you got a few of them out there that will keep the Ford or the Cayuse, but you know what? They ain't never running at the top.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just what it is, man. So I hope GM comes in. I think it's gonna be real interesting. I am a little bit conflicted on the driver lineup rumors I'm hearing
Yeah.
about. I'm cool with Perez. I'm even cool with Valtteri. I'm not cool with Danny Rick coming through back in, bro.
Man,
He need to
people
stay
keep
marking,
trying
man.
to
He
say
just
Daniel, but you got to remember, bro. Formula One, as Ben Slime said, it's not about racing;
true.
it's about entertainment. And
Entertainment
Daniel,
money.
he's a
Damn.
marketable ass dude.
He is, man. He a good, and you know what? He a cool dude. I
Yeah.
met him. We had a shoe competition. He was a real cool dude, man. And you right, it's marketability. You are right. I ain't even got nothing, no rebuttal
Right.
for that. You
I
exactly
mean,
right.
what three
So you
teams
might,
have tried to bring this man back, bro? Like, like
right?
this,
Facts,
he is like a
facts.
person who cannot retire, dog. He always gonna have a way
That's
to
true,
come back,
man.
dog.
Damn.
Yeah.
And you know what? Rightfully so. He's not burned the bridges in such a way, except for Renault. I think maybe he might have burned
I
that
think
bridge
it
for
was
Renault the
worth it,
way he
dog.
left,
I
because
mean, look at what Alpine
yeah,
is now. Like,
yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right about that. You're right about that. And
yeah.
so, I think Danny's done a good job with his personal relationships to the point where the door's never closed for you if there's an opportunity where we can bring you in. And I think that's all a part of the world, period, right? You don't want to burn bridges you don't have to
Right.
burn. Don't screw people because you got to wake up in the morning. You need to be able to sleep well. But yeah, I think that's a good point, man. You made a very good point on that, man. Hey, man, listen, we're gonna have you back again, bro. You gonna make some time later on the season, come back, Wolfpack, man, have a good
For sure,
conversation.
man. We gonna plan something out, bro. We gonna see how this season go, cause man, it's interesting, bro.
Okay,
It's interesting,
it
especially
is.
next season.
It is.
I really want to know what's gonna happen.
Oh, I think this is one of the biggest regulation change ever, bro. We talking about aero, we talking about power
Yeah,
units, we talking about all types of things changing in one season where it's gonna be crazy, man.
yeah.
Man, tell these people where they can come see you, man, where they come check you out, man. Cause I seen you on some kart racing too. So go ahead and let these people know what you be
All
doing,
right,
man.
man. So I reside out in the Dallas, Texas area currently. You can catch me occasionally at the
Already.
Dallas Karting Complex. It's in Cattle Mills, Texas, about 30 miles west of the city. But if you want to get at me on IG, follow me mix underscore made one. And hey, if you trying to kart, man, I got a helmet, I got Bunkov, I got the whole race suit. We can get to it now. That's cool with me.
Damn,
Let's get it.
damn. That man sending out personal damn call outs. I feel like we on street outlaws right now. Damn it, y'all. Y'all heard
Hey,
him. If you
man,
want to
at
pull
least
up,
I ain't
pull
put
up.
no
So
money on it. You know, no pink slips.
yeah, ain't put no money in, no pink slips or nothing on it, man. But hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all joining. Yuri, I appreciate you, bro. Y'all go check him out. If you are in the Texas area and now you see this brother, you might be close to a racetrack. Go on IG. Check him out, message him. Maybe y'all get together, do some racing or something out, but keep it cool, copacetic. Don't pull up wrong or you will lie, you will lie down wrong. You know what I'm saying? You're going to go to sleep out here. So big shout out to everybody, Wolfpack fan. We got a race week coming up. We about to be out here again. I will see y'all soon again, and Yuri will be back again. All right, peace. Thanks for watching another episode of Wolfpack Performance. Don't forget to check out some of my other content on Formula One and motorsports topics. Like, share, subscribe, and we go live on the weekends. See you soon.